This is Darrell presenting Apple's Develop in Swift Fundamentals curriculum, Unit 1, Lesson 3, Operators. In Swift, we use the assignment operator, which uses the equals sign, to assign a value. So we can assign the string Luke to our new variable favorite person. Or we can assign the integer 8 to a new variable shoe size, and then since it's a variable, we can assign the integer 9 to shoe size. We can use the plus, minus, multiply, and divide operators to perform basic math functions. So we can multiply, we can divide, we can also use the value of other variables. So we can add two existing variables and result in a new variable, provided that they are of the same type. Or we can use the current variable and then update it with a new value. We can use the double type for decimal point precision. So if we want to add 3.9 to 1.2, by default, Swift will infer that they are type double. Double uses 64 bits to hold the value. There's also a float type, which only uses 32 bits. So the double type has far more precision than the float type, and the double type is the default in Swift. Integer arithmetic only supports whole numbers. So if we divide 51 by 4, because x and y are both integers, then when we divide them, z will be inferred by the compiler to be an integer, and our result will be 12. We can use double values when we need decimal accuracy. In this case, we are explicitly telling the compiler that x and y are of type double, despite the fact that the right side of the assignment operator has integer literals. Because x and y are double, z will be inferred by the compiler to be double, and the division will have the full decimal point precision necessary to calculate that the answer is 12.75. The compound assignment operators take a variable and then perform an operation on that variable and then assign the result back into the variable. So if we wanted to add 3 to my score and put that new value back into my score, we could say my score equals my score plus 3, but a cleaner, more concise way to do it would be to say my score plus equals 3. This will also add 3 to my score and then assign the result into my score. Likewise, we have similar compound assignment operators for subtraction, multiplication, and division. For example, my score slash equals 2 will take my score, divide it in half, and then put the result into my score. Mathematic operations always follow a specific order. Multiplication and division have priority over addition and subtraction, but parentheses have priority over all four. In this case, when we print x plus y times z will be computed first, and then x will be added. In that case, that would result in 17. If we want to override that and have the addition occur first, we would have to use parentheses to manually change the order of operations. In this example, the compiler will infer that x is an integer, because 3 is an integer literal, and y is a double, because 0.14 is a floating point literal. And then when we attempt to add x and y, we are attempting to add an integer to a double, and Swift will not let us do that by default. We have to, if we want to convert types in Swift, we have to explicitly do it. This is one way that Swift helps protect us from making errors as programmers. Here's how we would do that. Here x is of type integer. We're using the initializer for the double type to create a new double out of the integer x. And then we're adding it to y, which is also a double. The compiler will then infer that pi is of type double and complete the addition for us. If you are following the Apple curriculum, now you can go and complete the exercises in the Operators Playground. This slide deck is created by Apple and is licensed by Apple under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 International License.